What's up everyone, my name is Andrew Fong. Welcome back to the part 3 of the Discord bot series where we track crypto prices for 24/7 and detect multiple price alerts with Python. So just a short recap of the last video, we have been completing 3 tasks which are sending the crypto prices directly whenever the users type in the channel, list all the available coins that are supported by this bot, and also check whether a coin is being supported by this bot. We also talked about setting multiple price alerts for the cryptocurrencies, and we discussed the algorithm, the scheduling algorithm, and display it using Programmese. We have coded a sample here. So in this video, I'll be translating all the code inside Programmese into the file main.py, which we'll be using as a Discord bot. So in the last part of the video, we'll be discussing how we can actually use Uptime Robot to make sure that the crypto bot will be running 24/7 all the time, as hosted by Uptime Robot, and will be constantly pinged every 5 minutes so that the bot will always stay alive and always be detecting the multiple price alerts for cryptocurrencies. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so the first step we should do is to identify which part we should actually change inside the program we have just drafted last video. So basically the main differences are actually very simple, which is hit price targets and also noti are now 2 variables. So instead of using Python variables, we can actually change them into database keys by using this method. So we can change this into database by this. So we add a database and then put them into brackets and also add a single quote. So the same goes to noti. We can just change it by then. Okay, so that will be the main difference, and the sequence.i will be fetching the data dynamically. So that will be, instead of sequence, we're having a predefined sequence, and the price targets will be fed by the user's input inside the channels, so we will be getting a list as well. So for the sequence, we actually don't have a predefined list here, so the sequence.i is just a demonstration for how the price will move and how it triggers the increase and decrease notifications. So instead of using sequence, we'll actually use the function that we have predefined, which are get crypto prices. That will be the live price of the cryptocurrencies that the users set and price alert for. And by the way, we won't be having a for loop because that won't be a sequence. That will be just a price that we fetch dynamically using this function. Okay, so let's get to work. So for the functions that we have defined last video, we actually don't need to do anything, make any changes. We can just copy and paste. So copy and paste, we go to the main.py, and then before we instantiate a Discord client, we can paste the functions here. So the price targets we have missed the price targets here, unfortunately, so that will do. Okay, so checking out the main loop, we have the 2 variables instantiation in the first 2 lines. So we copy this, and instead of putting it inside the main loop, we actually put it inside on ready. So whenever they logged in as a client, we will instantiate the database and set the hit price target to be 0 and also the notification list to be empty. So now we go ahead and do the main task, which is defining a function called detect price alert. Okay, so that will take in the crypto and price targets. So the price targets will be fed by the user when they type the command. One thing special about this function is actually the fact that it is an async function, because we will be sending some response to the channel whenever they hit the price targets or fallen below the price targets. So remember that in the first video, we've talked about the async method. Like here, async functions and async functions for the client events. Every time we send a message, we need to do await. So now the first line will be getting the current price of the cryptocurrency. So it's current price equals get crypto prices, which is put in the crypto. And the reason why we don't use this function very often is that every time we call the get crypto prices, we're actually calling the API, and there might be rate limit. If we call that too many times, that may not return the result or give us some error. So we would like to keep this function and use it whenever it's absolutely necessary, instead of calling this inside maybe like sequence I that will fetch the current price and use it every time. So we will first store the current price and then use it as a variable, which is current price. Okay, so we can basically paste in the code here. If from here, as I said before, we don't need the for loop because we'll be getting one single price. So let's copy this and then go ahead and paste this in. Okay, so there are definitely some changes we have to make. For example, the sequence I will all be replaced with current price, and also the hit price targets, and also the noti, I believe is in here, will all be keys inside the database. So let's do that one by one. So let's copy sequence I and then Command Shift L to find all the instances of sequence I, and then let's delete. Let's do it one more time. Let's copy this, Control Shift L and delete, and let's change it to current price. Okay, so the hit price targets will all be in database keys form. So let's change all this. Command Shift L. Let's do a bracket and a single bracket and the DB. Okay, so let's fix the last error, which is the indentation error. So let's do this Shift tab, and then this should do. And let's check out the error here. Okay, so I've used this one, this hit price target inside a nav string. So let's do delete hit price target, and this one too. Okay, and is there any error? Oh, here, we replace it accidentally. So hit price target. And now what we need to do is to actually change the this detect price alert functions to be running every 5 seconds, so that the current price can be continuously updated instead of the first time storing the current price as the first time the user runs the crypto bot. So what we can do is to actually import something from threading. So from threading, import something called timer. Okay, so inside Python's threading, it would actually run this every 5 seconds, this function, which is detect price alert. So how we can get this to work is to, so the commands for this one will be set a thread that runs detect price alert every 5 seconds. Okay, so we will have a timer which will be running every 5 seconds, so 5.0, and await this function, which is detect price alert, and that will be taking in the crypto and also the price targets. Okay, and then dot start. After the first try, it will start this thread and keep running. And every time you're finished, we can just print finish, finished. Yep, so that will do it. Okay, so another change we can make is to actually send Discord notifications inside the general channel, which is here where the CryptoBot is existing. And changes, instead of printing, we can send Discord messages. So inside here we can go ahead and do a for loop. So remember the last video, we actually have a list here, sending increased notifications. This will be a list that we will be needing. So let's refresh our memories. Inside, for example, this one, when it dropped from 361 to 349, it sent the decreased notification for all the price targets. So this list will be what we'll be looping through. So how do we get the list? This list, which is actually very easy. So it's list here, the whole thing. We can just copy this and then do a simple for loop. So for price target in this list, then we can do some printing. So we can change all this at once, and let's copy this for the next else statement too. So else for price target in this one, and print the increased notifications for the individual price target. So maybe in here we can change the message to be okay, so the price of the crypto. So we have the crypto has just passed this price target, USD, and the current price is, let me colon current price. Yep, current price US dollar for stop. So let's copy this to the else statement too to make it consistent. And for the decreasing, we actually follow the same logic here. And let's copy this for price target inside here. And this list will be taking this. Let's copy this. And then print this. And instead of passing the price targets, will be has just maybe fallen below this price target, and the current price is still the current price variable. So let's copy this for the else statement. Okay, and also this one. Let's don't forget the simple for loop. Okay, so the next part is to actually send the Discord messages. So instead of an F string, we can go to we can actually hold the command key inside Mac to do it for every instance. Let's go ahead and delete the print and do a function called send message, and that is not defined yet. And remember, every time we send Discord message, we have to do async and await. So we have to do await send message. Okay. So the detect price alert functions will be mainly detecting price alerts, and we will need a function which is to send Discord notification to a channel. Okay, so that will be an async function, send message, and that will take in a message, and that will send to the channel called should be general. So let's do await and discord.utils.get. So we will get the channels based on the client. So we can do client.get all channels, and then specify the name to be general. Okay, so this one would actually get the channel general inside the client. So it will search through the client, find the general channel, and then send the message. So .send message. Okay, so the users can actually set the price alerts whenever they type the $set method. So it will be quite similar to the previous attempt that we did for message the content and check the user's input and the first few letters. So let's do if message content starts with, and then $set, which is message list equals message content split by the space. Okay, so crypto concerned and will be the message list the second item, just like the previous attempt for checking whether a coin is supported. And then we will need to store the price targets. So we can do a simple for loop for I in range length of message list. This will be -2 because of the set and also the crypto concerned. So we assume that all the numbers following the set and also the cryptocurrency are numbers. So we will store them inside a list called price targets, which I forgot to instantiate a empty list, message list 2 plus. So this will be 2 plus I. And let's copy this to be an empty list. Okay. Then we can run some input validation to make sure that the crypto is supported, and also the numbers following the cryptocurrencies are actually numbers or integers. So we won't be supporting any float or doubles inside this crypto bot. So let's do some input validation. And first we will check whether the cryptocurrencies is supported. So we do it all the time. So which is if crypto is crypto supported, which will take in the crypto concerned, and also we would perform a check to see whether they are integers. So let's do check the price targets. Okay, so let's define a function up here. Check whether the price targets are integers. So let's define the function check list, or maybe just check. That will take in the price targets from the user, and we can do a simple try and except, which is try to return all is instance int, so it will try to convert it into an integer int for x in price targets. And if it doesn't work and give us an error, then we can just return false. Simple as that. So that will take care of whether we know the price targets are all in integers, and that will filter them. If they passes the test, then we can set the database keys, detect crypto to be the crypto concerned, and the detect price to be the list, which is the price targets. Then we can return the users a message to inform that they have successfully set the price alert for the crypto that they specify. So let's do await message.channel.send f-string, so maybe successfully set price alert for database. We check the detect. Oh wait, we should use a double quote instead of a single one. Detect crypto at price, should be outside this one, at price target, or maybe, yeah, this one should be in database detect price 2. So they both are the same, so no worries. This will be in brackets, and yep, US dollar, okay, for stop. And if they does not pass the input validation, we will send a message to the channel saying that it is unsuccessful. So let's do unsuccessful setting of price alerts. Please try again. Okay, so that will take care of the setting of the price alert, and whenever the users type start, that will actually start tracking and detecting the price alerts for the cryptocurrency. So then we can do, if the message.content starts with $start, then we can await message.content.send .channel.send a message saying that it started detecting price alert for this cryptocurrency at this price targets. We can make sure that they display this as a list instead of a database object, so we can change this to be a list. Okay, and after that we can just start using the function which is detect price alert. So crypto, and what should be this detect crypto, database detect crypto, and also database detect price. Also, before we run this code, we can actually change this to be this database detect price to be a list instead of the Discord bot will be printing this as an object. We can print it as a list. And for this line, we should actually do message.channel.send instead of message.content. So let's run this and hopefully it works. So okay, we have logged in as a Discord client and the bot is now online. We can do like 3491 341910 and 34920 34930 and hopefully 34900. Okay, let's set 4 target prices for Bitcoin. So it successfully set the price alerts, and let's start detecting the prices of Bitcoin. So the bot is now running and starting to detect the price. So the price of Bitcoin has just passed 34.9K. Okay, so after we have confirmed that the Discord bot commands are actually working and it can successfully detect price alerts, we can move on to getting the web server hosting so that the Discord bot can be moved to Uptime Robot to be a web server. So let's check out the documentations. We can now go on to create a new file which is called keepalive.py, and inside this we can just from Flask import Flask, from threading import thread, and then app equals Flask. So what we are doing is actually making a web server so that Replit compilers can actually create a new link which will be used inside the Uptime Robot so that the servers can actually ping our server every 5 minutes to keep it alive. So at apt root, the main page will be a define home. So we can print out a message which is return hello, the crypto bot is running. Yeah, yeet. And define run that will host it app.run and host it in 0.0.0.0, and the port will be by default 8000, and we can define a function called keep alive which will be using the threading that I've just mentioned, but we won't be using a timer. Instead we'll be using a thread, and the target will be the function that we created, which is run, so that it can run the server. So t.start. Okay, so inside main, before we actually create a client and run the client, we can go ahead and paste in keep alive. So, and we also need to go to the top of the header to import from keep alive import keep alive. So let's run this. So we successfully get the web server, and what we need is this link. So this link will be created by Replit. The robot will be pinging this link. So let's go to Uptime Robot. Let's log in. And inside the dashboard, you can see that I already created a crypto bot. So what we need to do is to click add new monitor, and then the monitor type will be HTTPS, and the link will be the one that we have just created, which is crypto bot. For me, it's this one. So you can just go back to Replit and copy the web server link. So let's delete this. Okay, so every 5 minutes it will ping our server. If we go less, we will need to actually upgrade to Pro. So let's monitor. We can say that the bot will be crypto bot for YouTube, and then create monitor, and then create monitor. So monitor created, and we're all done. So you can see that it is actually running here. And whenever we copy this link and close it. Ideally it wouldn't work, but because we're using Uptime Robot, so whenever we fire back up this link, we can also see it's still pinging. Like the previous logs are still here. And your crypto bot for YouTube will always be running 24/7 and detecting the price alerts. So that's it for me for this video. Hope you guys enjoy. All the source code will be in the description, and all the GitHub links and documentations will all be in the description for your reference. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next video. Bye guys.